The stream's live, councillors.
Thank you, councillors. It's now 4:30, so we'll call to order. So everyone is in their seats. I think we have Councillor Horville who's joined us.
Yes.
And Councillor Morris, is he joined us? So before we start, if you could please check that your mobile devices are turned to silent. Oh, that includes me. Right. So welcome everyone to Public Forum, and this is to coincide with the October Council meeting. Public Forum relates to representation on agenda item matters for the ordinary meeting of Council, which will commence tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. As it is tradition for public meetings and events to acknowledge country, therefore, on behalf of all present, I acknowledge the Dunghutti people, the original inhabitants of this ancient land, and pay respects to the Dunghutti and Aboriginal elders. For Public Forum, it is a requirement that I advise all present that Public Forum is being live streamed and your attendance at this meeting is taken as consent to the possibility that your image and or voice may be recorded and broadcast to the public via our live stream. I'll call on any conflict of interest for declarations.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, 11.1 as it pertains to my performance.
Thank you, General Manager.
Sorry, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
One as well.
Thank you, Councillor Shield.
The confidential item. For the confidential item, for the Mid North Coast High Performance Centre, I declare a non-significant, non-pecuniary interest as a member of the Sport and Rec Association in South West Rocks, and also, I guess, friends with two of the tenderers.
Thank you, Councillor Shields. Any other declarations of interest? I cannot see. I know that we have Councillor Horville attending by Zoom, but I cannot see his video's off. That's okay. Well, I can't see if he's got any declaration.
No, I don't have any declarations, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. This evening we have one Public Forum speaker, and that will be Paul Haler. Oh, can you please, Haler? Paul. Thank you. I was just making sure I had the have your name interpreted correctly. Paul will be speaking against the item 9.2, the Crescent Head public domain call, and I need to get the General Manager now to outline the the guidelines for the Public Forum before Mr. Haler speaks.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Just some general things about the Public Forum and also some recent changes to the way the council meeting was conducted following the meeting of the Continuity Management team last month. The Public Forum is an opportunity for members of the public to raise their views in relation to items on the agenda. Speaking for or against those, we ask that those comments be kept to the subject matter. They should not be used for opportunities to disparage staff, councillors or other members of the public. The Mayor has the right to cut people off who may start to get off track or to start to disparage people in negative ways in that manner. The Speaker has 5 minutes and then opportunity to take questions from the councillors on the items that are suggested or that come up from the councillors as well. Following the last council meeting, or following quite a few of the council meetings, the Continuity Management team have been reviewing our services and how they operate. There's been a range of issues that we've actually experienced with running the hybrid meetings, and they were considered at the last Continuity Management team. So public forums and council meetings going forward at this point of time, they introduced a number of things that anyone participating by Zoom, whether they be councillors or staff, they need to follow. They include councillors to wear a headset with microphone and audio on. at the commencement of the meetings, the council will announce all those present in the chamber. So councillors and staff who might be off site are aware of that. And also any councillors attending via Zoom to let the other councillors know who might be in the room with them. Because again, that part of the meeting is public. They're entitled to actually have people in their room watching the meeting with them. We're going to pause between each item as we go through the agenda tomorrow. There'll be a short pause between each one. That allows Daniel to actually get the voters up on the screen, so we can actually see who voted for each item. So we're not feeling like we're getting rushed. So you can actually see all that. We also continue to say, councillors, don't speak until you're recognised by the chair. Often the mayor she'll start to read the item, 11 point whatever, such and such and such. Wait until the mayor finishes that before you move or second or do something. Let her finish. At times there have been people coming in over the top of Liz while she's been speaking. So wait to be recognised by the chair. Don't speak over other councillors unless there's a point of order to be raised. Cease speaking if someone else is speaking. All councillors attending should remain attentive to the video. So that's both councillors here and those by Zoom. Keep your eye on what's actually happening on the screen as well as what's happening in the chamber as well. We will resume the meetings after any breaks at the time stated by the chair. So we won't start before that time, but we may, if the break goes a little bit longer, it may go a little bit longer, but we won't start before the time's actually done. Prior to closed sessions with the video conferencing, we are requiring that those attending by Zoom to ensure all doors are closed, and we will be looking to have where there's doors, and we know at least one councillor has multiple doors, which this isn't going to be possible for them to do, but for them to actually have the camera at least on one of the doors. Virtual backgrounds cannot be used, and the chair is to take or can take any sort of 5-minute break every couple of hours or as required. Given we normally have a morning tea break and then lunch, that's probably going to work out all right. And obviously while these meetings are on, it's assumed that anyone attending by Zoom, their cameras will be on at all times through the course of the meeting. So that's all, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, General Manager. I will now call on our public forum speaker to come forward. Thank you, Paul.
Can you say that all again?
You've got 5 minutes and speak nicely.
Sorry about that. Okay, look, not sure how long this is going to take me, but I'm speaking against the decision not to make a decision or to defer the decision, which doesn't become a decision, on the foreshore at Crescent Head for the master plan. Currently, the next steps in the proposal to be stamped, dressed and sent off is that the deferral decision to proceed with the majority of the foreshore sectors while the design is reviewed in light of the feedback received. Final deferral areas will be made in 2021. Now, these have been put together by Plummer and Smith, the consultant and the project team. It hasn't gone unnoticed that there's 2 positions available for the project team. I see on the site, one for engagement and another project officer with community groups. So I hope that other guys haven't fallen on their sword or something over this. And this is said with the greatest deal of respect to all council workers. Deferred, so getting back, yes, the current positions would be deferred so that additional community consultation and design review will be undertaken. In relation to the foreshore, it would seem that the principles have been met with the project principles. I'm not sure the decision to defer is a decision at all. Isn't it I'm frozen? Given all the information received, surely a consultant and project team could put more options on the table and defer. The project was conducted in a structured and often an open environment, and as such it was being constructed and designed for the project purpose. Valuable data was collected, which is represented in the report via pie charts. And this was real community feedback. Clearly, an overwhelming desire of the community based on this data was a giant thumbs up for all the project designs, including the foreshore. It is noted there has been no issues with the CBD or Little Nobby. Ironically, the statistics used for the feedback which show desire for implementation areas is strong for the foreshore as it is for the CBD. So I ask, what is the difference? Without messing about, it's 490 submissions, those emotional afterthoughts when things aren't quite going your way. Interestingly, there were over 1,800 submissions for the cinema, and some may say it was a good decision that they seem to have missed the decision boat with council. Can it be that due to feedback, the same council concern for the community falls short on this issue? Personally, I think the council, as in the councils, can make a decision, either yes or no. Going back out to the community with further input is trying to get another answer, isn't it? You're not getting the answer you want, so you go back out again. The 490 submissions, which would normally be a petition, need the sniff test. There are a number of submissions using the tick box method that are either incomplete or have been remarked to approve the change. Remarked so it approves the changes. And there are a large number of submissions from people who don't even reside in the valley. This was not in scope of the project. What else was going on in Crescent Head at that time? I believe that the Plummer Road was. Anger was still raging. The Stop the Car Park group was formed during this upheaval from the loud people. Does the foreshore project meet council values? Yes or no? Yes, all with the except
1 minute.
Yeah, all with the except of the value of governance and health. Care that confirmation bias does not become apparent. How has submissions and data been weighted? For example, what weight is put on submissions compared to the data? Is it 80%, 10%? In a time where distance and outdoor may become the new normal, we're deferring a decision to complement health. On behalf of the silent people, we ask for a yes or no now answer and not a referral that will fester within the community, and further, that no decision be made on the whole document until there is a yes or no on the very important part of that document which needs to be made. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Paul. Is there any questions from councillors? Councillor Baxter, Councillor Saul, and then Councillor Baxter first, then Councillor Saul.
Thank you, Paul. Given the length of time it's going to take, I mean, to do the CBD redevelopment and to do the park outside the bakery, which is going to be a wonderful boom for the village.
Mm.
Given that amount of time, to put the foreshore third, let's say, in the agenda and have time to address things that, as you say, are festering. The festering over the marked, unmarked car park spaces, as you know.
Your question is, Mr.
Don't you think, given the amount of time that the first two projects are going to take, that there's nothing wrong with putting something third or down the line a bit and have another look at it during that time? So while the CBD is getting done and while the park's getting done, spend some time addressing that festering problem you're referring to.
Well, there is no festering problem. The problem is going to be festered if there's no yes or no answer. That's my point. And the other thing is, if you're doing a project and you've got all your workmen down doing the CBD and the whole of Crescent Head and not deferring it with one lot of project team managers and people down there working, surely that'd be a lot easier than coming back again. You can only do that with public money. If it was private enterprise, you'd go broke. No, I don't agree that coming back and doing it again is just eating up valuable council money.
Thank you, Councillor Saul.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Hallier, I must ask you this question. You mentioned the sniff test. Can you please elaborate on that? Firstly, please.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for asking the question. It's got nothing to do with how we meet as dogs. Okay, the strategy. Decorum.
Just answer the question.
Yeah. Sorry. The sniff test, similar though. Well, in the sniff test, if you're a consumer or if you're making a decision, and it can be a moral decision or any important decision, there's strategy, need, impact, feasibility, and feel, which first let us, spell out sniff. Strategy is how well does this fit with our strategy and further our vision? Well, I think that's quite plain that we're promised some space out there and it was going to come along with the master plan. Of course, if the funds were accepted, if the funds are there. Well, this part where we're doing up the foreshore, I think fits perfectly into the strategy the council has. Need, how well does this address an important need? Well, the project team, the consultant, and those involved with the project in the community said that this is needed, that this part of the project is needed. Impact. Do I only get 2 minutes for this?
1 minute per question, so you need to hurry. If you
Okay. Yeah.
and then I'll call it.
Yeah. Impact, opportunity, size. We have envisioned a sizable enough market with money to spend. That's what impact means. Well, yes, there's an opportunity size. The opportunity is not to keep coming back to it. The opportunity is we're down there, let's do it now. Feasibility. Can it be done technically within our time frame? Of course it can. If you're all down there, you're going to get in the time frame. Feel, and this is an important one. It has nothing to do with your waste measurement. What does your educated gut say? Can you smell a rat? Does it pass that smell test? It doesn't.
Okay, we've gone over our time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I had 2, I'm sorry. But...
Okay, we've got Councillor Patterson, then we'll take... Oh, you've got a second question.
One,
we'll take Councillor Saul, then
sorry,
we'll go to Councillor Patterson, then we'll go to Councillor McGinn.
I thought I had 2.
That's okay.
That's fine, I'll do it now quickly. Mr. Hallier, you're a well-known identity in Crescent Head.
Sorry?
You're a fairly well-known identity in Crescent Head.
Not for the good reasons.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
In our report here, we're saying that many feeling the foreshore needs to be done, so not excluded. Would you agree with that notion?
Yes, I do.
And
I actually on my application to speak, I said silent people. I'm representing silent people. They're the ones we're too busy talking at or listening to the loud crowd, not to listen to the silent people. These are the people that from all age groups and all pasts and presents that have got. They won't say anything. They'll never say anything. They'll just put up with it. Well, I don't particularly think that's a good position to be. And I think I honestly believe that for no, I don't know why they don't speak up, but the majority of the people that aren't are the ones that are long-term residents of Crescent Head.
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you for
Councillor
that.
Patterson.
Thank you, Mr. Hallier.
Paul, just call me Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. And I promise, Madam Mayor, that there is a question at the end of this.
Get to it succinctly and make it.
Paul.
Yeah.
I don't see a true direction at the moment that covers residents, elderly, disabled, ratepayers of the Macleay, that also handles the more than doubling of the population in the holiday summer seasons. I believe we have an iconic place called Crescent Head that we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
We must respect that it must be, the decision must be taken correctly. Do you think yourself that the residents of the Macleay would be happy with this iconic decision that we're about to made half wholeheartedly or correctly?
Okay, very good question. Wish had think music. That's a good question, but yes, I think people in the Macleay would like to be able to have equal opportunity to park or to use that area, take their kids and have a picnic and all that sort of stuff. And if you're going to have a correct answer, it has to be in line with governance. And I don't think this is in line with governance, because how it goes around how's it showing that you're using the same decisions in one lot of problems and you're using the same lot of decisions in another? It doesn't show that at all. It just shows that, oh, we'll hold up this project because, it's all too hard. We'll put it off till next year and we'll go back to the community. And what are you going back to the community again? You've got everything you need from them. I don't mean that in a, you and having a go at you, but, it's like going out trying to find the answer that you want because you might be under pressure.
Thank you. Councillor McGinn.
Oh, thanks, Madam Mayor. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Given the domain plan is likely to be a staged process because we obviously don't have the funds to do everything at once, and just putting aside for a minute how we progress with the car park area at the front, and given that you're a local in Crescent Head who lives down there and is in touch with the community, can you tell me what you think is the priority of implementation of the various stages? So, there's various parts to the domain plan. So do you have a priority that you would like addressed first?
Yes, but I'd have to charge you for the answer.
Well, I'm wanting to know what you think the community would value as being the first in a staged process.
I don't think the community just want it, right? They don't think about staging how the project should be implemented, how the staging should be done in a work environment, like let's do this part first or let's do that part first, because it's not in the scope. In the scope is the whole lot. So they've gone, oh, we're making decisions on all this, everything's going to happen, or it's not going to happen, right? So a yes for that, like they overwhelmingly in the pie charts represented, when I say they, those that were involved in the project from start to finish. And the same with the foreshore. So why does that get delayed? Because of controversy. Well, let's be bigger than that.
Thank you. Is there any further questions? That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that ends the public forum for this afternoon.